Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Thank you for stopping by today. I appreciate you being here. It's not dating advice today, not food, not beauty. My makeup's already done. Instead, I guess I'll put this in the playlist, just stuff about being 50 or over 50, whatever that one's called. I'm calling this one, as you may have seen, 50 is young, and I'm here with 6 reasons to convince you of that. And they're pretty good, and I was talking to somebody recently and they just made it sound like 50 was old, and I don't feel like that at all. They were afraid to turn 50. They thought things were going to change dramatically, and that number was so scary. And a couple of these came out in that conversation because 50 is young. If you still need convincing, keep watching. That's what we're talking about today. Okay, it would be a stretch to say that 50 is middle age. It can happen. There are certainly people where 50 is middle age. More and more people are living to be over 100 years old, and they're all on that morning show, right, that my mother watches. Well, so think about them maybe, and that is literally the middle of their life. Perhaps you can realize that 85 is a reasonable lifespan for an American person, and that is 35 years away from where 50 is. And think back in the opposite direction, 35 years ago from where we are now, that was 35 years old. So look how far we are from who we were and what was going on at 35, and realize all that time looking back to 35 is all that we still have ahead of us, and you realize we are young at 50. And I'm past 50 by quite a bit, and I still feel young. So anyway, that's number one. Next up, I realize that it's easy to fall into that trap of seeing the glass as half empty, but you get to choose whether you want to see it as half full. So pick that, do that, be that. Oh, that's that movie. I mean, honestly, we get to choose to be positive, and I think a lot of it has to do with the self-talk, the talking, the things that we tell ourselves, the way we talk to ourselves in here. So just start saying, you create your own reality. Just start imagining that you're really young and you're so lucky to be at 50 and have all these experiences behind you and so much fun and cool experiences in the future. And eventually it's like that looking in the mirror thing where you say, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, I'm that thing from Saturday Night Live. Do that long enough and I promise you, you will start to realize that 50 is an awesome age to be, and it's quite young. And forget about it being young for a second, but it's certainly an age to be grateful for, right? Because there are people, there are children, there are friends we've had that didn't get the opportunity. And 50 is a super cool age to be confident and be able to know who we are and stand up for ourselves, be our own advocate, take control and not be the doormat maybe that we were in the past, or the people pleaser, but take control of our own life and live it in a youthful way, enjoying things and having fun and making time for pleasure. That is what keeps you young. So don't sweat the small stuff, because it's not worth it. Time is precious, and we're still young enough to understand that and live our lives in that way. You know what's really aging? Drama and bullshit. And you know who doesn't have time for drama and bullshit? Those of us in our 50s. We're too young for that. We've got stuff to do. We've got positive attitudes to attain. And as young, vibrant, confident people, we ain't gonna stand for that. Next up, if you're lucky enough to have your health, which I hope you do, these are great years because you've reached a level of hopefully creating some free time for yourself, some time to enjoy the things you enjoy, things like your friends and your family and your hobbies, and you can create and prioritize and leave behind the BS we were just talking about, and really create this super enjoyable life that only somebody who's vibrant and interested could be living. You're entering these most enjoyable and vibrant years. You've got to see that you're young enough to appreciate it and have gratitude for it. And if unfortunately there have been life choices or heredity that have not allowed you to get to this point with the health that you had hoped for, you're young enough to make different choices and make sure that you're feeling even better at 80 than you were at 50. It can be done. How cool is that? All the advancements in medicine and the things we know about nutrition and exercise, it's a great time to be 50. This is the youngest we've ever been at 50, and you're here to experience it. Okay, you don't believe me? Next up, we gotta maybe take the government's word for it. They used to have people retire like 62 or something. Now what age do they want us to retire? 65? No. 66? No. They're like, retire at 67. Even they know that 50 is young and we've got work years ahead of us. We have productivity ahead of us. They want us working for another 17 or more years. So we have to be young. Think of all the people I know. Next up, I mean, think about it. We're young enough to have new experiences, pick up new hobbies, try new things, and still change things about ourselves that we want to. We're not even stuck in our ways at 50. Anything that we're not pleased with in our personality or our circumstances, we've got the know-how and the best skill set we've ever had to make some tweaks in those situations, changing little things about ourselves that would make our lives easier, make our relationships better. 50, super young. Choose a cause. Get out there, become an activist. You can do that. Do they want old people out there on the lines with their signs walking around? Whatever you're passionate about. The fact that you have passion about something right there shows how young you are. But get out there and do something with it and give support to all the younger and older people there and have something in common with them. Take a class, learn a new skill. Hey, if you were old, you wouldn't have the time, the energy, or the inclination to be an activist or to be passionate about a cause, and you do. There's proof unto itself that 50 is young. So I guess to wrap this up, you can see that feeling what you do about a number, a great number, 50, it's right in between. It's like literally between 0 and 100. It's an awesome place to be. And medicine has made it so that we live longer, healthier lives, and we are reaping the benefits of that. And we feel amazing. You know, I always tell the story to people when they tell me, oh, you know, I'm very young for my age. I say, yeah, who's not? We're all pretty young for our age these days because we have really great nutrition and great tests to prevent us from getting illnesses so that we can know about them in advance to save our own lives and give us an extra 20 years if we're lucky. We have better quality foods. We know more about what we're supposed to eat. We know that exercise is important to us, and we know that having a social life also fills our souls. And being passionate about something creates endorphins the same way that exercise does. So really, it's all right here. Be present, live in the moment, be grateful for what you've had, where you are, and what you hope to accomplish moving forward. And just start telling yourself, 50, I'm still pretty young. I think that'll make this next half or 2/3 of your life much more enjoyable. Think about it. I hope you found this interesting or at least something to think about. I appreciate you stopping by today. I hope you'll subscribe and hit that ring bell and then you're notified every time I upload a new episode. I appreciate you sticking around here till the end with me today. I'll look forward to the next time. Until then, have a good one.